I like to think of this film as being an extremely, you know, only could be really made in America type of film because it's so secluded to a certain part of basically, you know, this country. The film itself was shot just using equipment that was borrowed or loaned to us by our investors, who just, you know, basically paid for my credit card costs, which was about $3,000 total. Digital technology is at the point right now where you can do things that you couldn't do previously, and it's still not really being, you know, taken advantage of. And that was kind of my goal with this film, was seeing if it was possible to do something for no money. I was pretty sure it was, and, you know, unfortunately we ended up being able to pull this thing off. But I mainly try to utilize the lighting and the locations and more or less focus my cinematography. You know, basically I wasn't trying to paint with light, I was trying to paint with the situation I had, and inside of every room and inside of every place you go to, there's a certain special place that if you put the camera, it can look really great. We would take real events and we would fictionalize them slightly, always keeping in mind the emotional intensity of that mindset, because the film in the end is about not so much about a story or you know, a series of events, how they unfold. It's more about putting you in the mindset of this character. As the movie unfolds, it was unfolding in front of us as well, so it was a very organic process. You know, that also ends up making you shoot a lot of, you know, footage and so forth. I wanted to be cohesive, so that was a real you know, challenge for me, to be able to you know, take this kind of weird way of shooting things and eventually, you know, put the puzzle together. Because I think people underestimate how sensitive guys are, especially earlier on in their life. Because I think a lot of guys, especially guys that haven't had anything really, really bad happen to them, like you know, you haven't lived a really harsh life. You've just kind of, you know, maybe you're not like really well off. Nothing really as bad has ever happened to you, and there's plenty of people out there like that. It becomes like this, you know, just pure terror that you're in, this, you know, horror. You're just completely secluded, cut off from everybody else, and lonely, and you feel like there's no hope. Something like, you know, Pop Skull, a really small production like that, playing in an amazing festival like this is borderline overwhelming.